Coming up, protesters are speaking out against recent ICE arrests in Iowa.
And federal government shutdown and what that means for you.
The status of Mark Gronowski. Will he play again this year?
This week we're rocking in the 80s. I'll have your full forecast coming up in weather.
All that and more.
Coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Wednesday, October 1st. I'm Ryan Lynch.
And I'm Linda Locko. And for our top story today, right now, dozens of Iowans are speaking out against the recent arrest by the immigrants and custom enforcement.
We have DITV's Liz Schultz live outside the Homeland Security building in Cedar Rapids, where protesters are standing together and calling for action.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan and Linda, I am joined here live with
Getzi Hernandez with Escucha Mi Voz.
And Getzi, could you just tell me about why you're out here today?
Yeah, so I'm an organizer with Escucha Mi Voz, and today we are here showing up for our protective accompaniment, and we're here to stand up for Jorge and for Dr. Ian Roberts.
And can you just tell us about what Escucha Mi Voz is doing for these families?
Yeah, so we are going to continue to show up to our protective accompaniments every week, and we're still, organizing to make sure that Jorge and Dr. Ian Roberts' stories are heard, and yeah, we're just going to continue to support and advocate.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Getzi. And take a look behind me. You can see there are nearly dozens of protesters here outside of the Homeland Security building in Cedar Rapids. You can see the signs that say, "Free Jorge Now, ICE out of Iowa." They are lined up, and as families are outside of the Homeland Security building, they are cheering. They're coming in here for the regular check-ins, which means they're allowed to stay in the state of Iowa. And the protesters that I've spoken with say that they are going to continue speaking out and standing up for Jorge Hernandez and Ian Roberts. Live in Cedar Rapids, Liz Schultz, DITV.
Thanks, Liz. And we have DITV's Cart Smith here to tell us a bit about today's weather.
Cart, it's been pretty hot this week, and it's October. Are we going to see any signs of it cooling down?
Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to have to hold on to summer for a little bit longer, as the weather this week is really taking me back to the 80s, because that's where we got the highs all week. As we check out the Pentecost cam, you can hardly tell that it's October because the grass is as green as emerald. Right now it is a solid 64 degrees out and a little cloudy, but it'll get up to 86 in the afternoon. Later on in the day, things will cool off to the low 80s with those clouds continuing to hang high. But don't let that get you down. Tomorrow, Mr. Sun will be right back out with a high of 89 degrees. Speaking of temperatures in the 80s, I'm going to go take a quick break and listen to some classic rock. In the meantime, Ryan and Linda, back to you.
We have breaking news coming out of the Capitol Hill this morning.
DITV's Kenna Murtis is live in the newsroom to fill us in on what's happening.
Good morning, guys. As of midnight, the federal government shut down. This is because Congress didn't come to agreement about the spending budget before the deadline. What this means is the government pauses all non-essential functions. These pauses, however, will not impact national security and public safety. For many government workers, their pay is expected to be delayed. Additionally, they are temporarily laying off government employees, and it's uncertain when they will be rehired. On most government websites, the Trump administration is blaming the Democrats and not cooperating with the Trump administration. I'll have more later coming up. For now, back to the desk.
The man arrested for federal agents at Bread Garden Market last week was detained as part of a fraud investigation. An ICE spokesperson based out of St. Paul gave a statement saying the investigation was lawful and intelligence-driven. The statement also said officers identified themselves to both business managers and Jorge Gonzalez, the man arrested. But Bread Garden Market's owner said the agents entered unannounced. ICE said they are committed to continuing their efforts of law enforcement.
New details are coming out and about of the Des Moines superintendent detained by ICE. New former superintendent Ian Roberts had his teaching license revoked. After Roberts was detained on Friday by ICE, it was found the doctorate was inauthentic. The Iowa Board of Education examiners sent a letter stating that he was ineligible to hold a license due to his immigration status. Roberts' work authorization card expired in 2020, and in May 2024, he was given a final order of removal from the U.S. After Roberts' arrest, the Department of Justice is issuing an investigation on the Des Moines School District.
Conversations surrounding freedom of expression are heating up across the country, and here in Iowa City, people are taking the debate to the streets.
DITV Sports Director Colin Carruthers is live at the Penn Mall to fill us in on what's happening.
Yeah, good morning, and I'm outside the Iowa City Public Library in the Penn Mall downtown, where at 5:30 this evening, plenty of people will be gathering to shout free speech at a rally right here. The rally is expected to bring together community members, students, and activists to call attention to freedom of expression in light of recent political violence. Rod Sullivan, the longest serving member of the Johnson County Board of Supervisors and organizer of the event, initiated it as the discussion of free speech continues to grow. John Green, a member of the Johnson County Board of Supervisors, will be speaking as well, along with University of Iowa Professor Andrew Jordan and journalism professor Brett Johnson. It's expected to bring together a bunch of community members, as U.S. Senator Zach Walz will also be speaking at the events. Back to you guys inside.
City Council elections are next month, and Iowa City Mayor Bryce Teague's Saturday downtown University of the Iowa Journalism class for news conference.
DITV News Director Kayla Smith listened to what Teague had to share.
Mayor Bruce Teague took around 40 minutes out of his day to answer questions from students. They covered several topics, including some national headlines, like that of conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Certainly, I don't believe in political violence of any type, and so for that, I am sad that his life was taken. I'm not going to give in to praising someone that spewed hate.
And as the nation watches widespread DEI crackdowns, Teague explained how the city continues to support people of different backgrounds and identities as the University of Iowa dismantles their DEI initiatives.
The uniqueness of everyone, individualized or collective personalities and cultures, is so important, and in Iowa City we celebrate that.
Teague also showed his appreciation for the class, sharing his support and advice for the young journalists.
Regardless of the hype and what people are hearing, I support journalists. I want to say, continue doing what you do. Sometimes you just have to fade the noise away and just keep moving.
Teague ended the conference by sharing details on his re-election campaign, as we're just over a month away from city council elections.
I attend a lot of events in our community. I'm so proud to be known as the mayor that doesn't sleep. I'm going to continue to do that. And so as the campaign now is nearing, just over a month away, certainly I'll be ramping up.
Teague is just one of 4 candidates for an at-large seat in the November 4th City Council election. From City Hall, Kayla Smith, DITV.
U.S. Representative Ashley Hinton is pressing the U.S. Department of Education to open a federal investigation. Hinton's sons attend Linmar Community School District in Marion, Iowa. The student-run morning announcement promoted a Bisexual Plus Awareness Day and other LGBTQ topics. According to Hinton, these segments were broadcast to students without parental knowledge or consent. District reinforces its dedication to inclusiveness and polite disclosure while stating that is examining the segment. Major changes from Trump administration officials yesterday.
We're sending it back to Kenna in the newsroom for the details.
That's right. Top generals and admirals were called to the military base in Quantico, Virginia for major announcements. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth presented new military guidelines yesterday morning. He asked for no more division, distraction, or gender delusions, making clear arguments against what he calls, quote, woke culture. He called for new orders codifying high
DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris.
He called for new orders codifying highest male standards, pointing to new fitness regulations and combat roles. He then commented if all the new standards he unveiled makes their hearts sink, then they should resign. And this also targets women in combat roles.
But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it.
Trump's speech following expressing support to these new ideas, suggesting using dangerous cities in the U.S. as training grounds for the military National Guard. Hegseth and Trump have now coined the Department of Defense as the Department of War. On Monday, President Trump authored another peace plan to end war in Gaza. The main points to end the fighting and return to all hostages within 72 hours of acceptance. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu endorsed the plan. However, the terms would require Hamas to disarm completely and surrender all government authority, conditions the group has previously said it would not agree to. There is also no guarantee that ceasefire would lead to creation and Palestine state. While Hamas has not responded to the deal yet, it has received support from several other nations, including Britain, France, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and other countries in the Middle East. Trump said if Hamas did not accept the terms in the deal, quote, to Israel would have full backing and finish the job to destroying the threats of Hamas. No representatives from Hamas were involved from design of the plan. That's all I have for right now. For now, back to the desk.
Artificial intelligence is a hot topic right now. From the arts to STEM, as the technology evolves, so does the role it plays in our lives. DITV's Kabedi Mutumba talked to students and faculty to see what role AI is playing here at the University of Iowa.
Artificial intelligence has been around for decades, but the release of ChatGPT in 2022 brought generative AI to the masses. 3 years later, the world remains split on whether AI will help or hurt our learning.
I think AI is great. I think not using AI is like doing math without a calculator.
I think it can be harmful when it's used for like generation rather than like revising, editing kind of thing.
Just like student opinions, AI policies for the University of Iowa's various departments range from full support to cautious acceptance. At the Writing Center, there's worry about AI's impact on developing good writing skills.
There are ways in which we can use AI tools to help support learning, but there are a lot of moments where AI can sabotage that process.
Egan says that AI not being able to properly appeal to specific audiences in its writing makes it a flawed first step in the process.
In order to analyze writing, you have to be a strong writer first. Then you could work with AI.
While the Writing Center does have concerns about the effect of AI on the writing process, they are still moving forward with the technology. This semester, they made their Write Strong bot available to students as a tool, not as a replacement.
So the purpose of the Write Strong bot was to put up constraints, right? To create a co-pilot agent that will give you the kind of feedback you might get from a writing instructor.
While those ones and zeros haven't completely taken over, AI's increasing popularity means that the university and students have to decide if it will play a bigger role in their lives. In front of the UI English and Philosophy Building, Kabedi Mutumba, DITV.
Football season may have just kicked off, but the NFL already announced the year's Super Bowl performer. Puerto Rican pop star Bad Bunny will perform the Super Bowl 59 halftime show. This decision came without a fair share of controversy. Real name Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, he became the fourth non-American and first non-English speaker to perform during the Super Bowl. People are surprised with this move as Bunny did not include the continental United States on his 2025 tour and fear that ICE could potentially raid the venues with his large number of Hispanic fans.
And coming up later, Iowa football updates, men's wrestling schedule has been released, and some exciting news in women's basketball. All your Hawkeye sports and more coming up right after the break.
Stories occur every day, and here at DITV, we've got you covered with up-to-date news and politics.
We are anxiously waiting for those votes for not only the national election, but here in District 1.
Community members protest and stand for science. Keeping highlights and scores with Hawkeye Sports.
Advancing to the quarterfinals, Iowa looks to boost their overall placement and their way into the semis.
It's Iowa's second road win of the season, first since September 21st.
And of course, all the latest in entertainment.
Sit back, relax, and here's the word on the
history. I'm here at the Alan McVeigh Theater where a unique performance.
Here at DITV, we've got a crew bringing you all the stories from across the nation and right here in your backyard.
From the Iowa State Fair.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
From downtown Iowa City. From Carver Hawkeye Arena.
And bringing all the coverage straight to you live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Around the University of Iowa and Iowa City community, we have the stories that matter to you here at DITV.
Welcome back to DITV.
Karch, I am enjoying this sunny weather. Are we going to get any more of that this week?
Oh yeah, you might want to bring out your sunglasses because I fear it's only going to heat up more. I know I said that is back in the 80s, but later this week we'll reach up into the low 90s, and Friday will end the week in the low 90s. So I might want to start bringing one of those portable fans to class. We'll continue into the weekend in the high 80s and low 90s with sunny skies. Monday, the week cools down with a high in the mid-70s, but don't get too excited as sweater weather isn't here yet. Tuesday remains partly cloudy with highs in the low 70s. I know I'm ready to bring out my sweaters, but this week, that's on pause. Ryan and Linda, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Karch. And since he talked about sunny weather, I'm so excited to enjoy more of the sports that's outside coming week.
Yes, and with the temperature warming up there, what's the temperature looking like for Hawkeye sports?
Well, guys, the Iowa community is still not over the heartbreaking loss against Indiana for Iowa football, but there was another massive scare towards the end of the game. Starting quarterback Mark Gronowski went down with an apparent lower leg injury in the fourth quarter and would not return. Chad Lysico of the Des Moines Register asked offense coordinator Tim Lester about Gronowski's outlook for next week.
Is it fair to say Gronowski has a shot to play against Wisconsin?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, it's cloudy, but it's rehabbing. Hopefully, everything. They're all rehabbing. Hopefully,
not season ending. It looked bad at first. Not season ending. Okay.
Tim Lester kept things vague with a knock on wood, hoping for the best result. Nothing is solidified as of yet. However, what is solidified in place is Caden Regent being one of the best returners in Iowa's team's history. Special teams coordinator LeVar Woods compared him to star Tim Dwight, who was a consensus All-American return man for the Hawks all the way back in 1997.
He has the speed of a wide receiver and probably the build of a running back. I think it's a very unique build that he has physically. Caden Regent's pretty dang good, and I think Tim would tell you the same thing.
Monday afternoon, it was announced that the Iowa football team's game in Madison against the Wisconsin Badgers will kick off under the lights. Game of the season and their second in a row against the Badgers. The night game will also mark the third time over the last 4 seasons that Iowa and Wisconsin will play each other in primetime. In last year's matchup, the Hawkeyes downed the Badgers 42-10, winning the Heartland Trophy for a 3rd consecutive season. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin. Some big news in men's wrestling as the Big Ten Conference has released the 2025-2026 Big Ten schedule. The Hawkeyes will host Big Ten foes Wisconsin, Penn State, Minnesota, and Michigan at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And take on Nebraska, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Purdue on the road in Big Ten play. The Big Ten Conference Championship is set for March 7th and 8th in State College, Pennsylvania, on the campus of Penn State. The 2026 National Championships will be held in Cleveland this year from March 19th through the 21st. McKenna Volishko, the 6th-ranked player in the 2026 class, who holds an offer from Iowa, should be announcing her commitment around 10 a.m. Central Time. Volishko is a 6'2" shooting guard from San Jose, California. She announced recently that she has narrowed down her search to 4 teams, one of which being the Hawkeyes. 24/7 Sports' Crystal Ball predicts that the 5-star shooting guard will choose Iowa over USC, Ohio State, and South Carolina. Now, guys, I feel like it's been too long since we checked in with our good old friend Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Unfortunately, Clark's second year in the WNBA hasn't gone as planned. Clark played just 13 games for the Fever, and after fighting through multiple injuries, she was ruled out this season with a groin injury. Clark's injury was just the start, as the Fever also had 6 other players go down with season-ending injuries. Despite the injury bug, the Fever made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2015. Unfortunately, the Cinderella run came to an end Tuesday night as the Fever lost to the Las Vegas Aces in overtime. The Aces won the series 3-2.
Well, thank you for joining us online or listening on KUR 89.7 FM.
We are here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com. I'm Ryan Lynch.
For Colin Carithers, I'm Cole Krieger.
And for Liz Schultz, I'm Cart Smith.
And I'm Linda Locke. We'll see you again Friday morning right here on DITV.